we have the Hoenn Tour, both of the in-person and the global, coming up in Pokemon Go. So I'm going to start giving you my top prep tips to help you guys get ready because we want to be ready for this event. So you know what time it is. Welcome to the Trader Club. Here we go. Welcome back, everybody. Let me know in the comments below, are you going to the in-person Hoenn Tour or are you just waiting out for the global one? And if so, which ones are you doing? Because I will be doing both of them. First one I will obviously be in Vegas for, and it will be very easy to be able to find me and to be able to come and see me. So I can't wait to see all you guys out there. But most importantly, in today's video, we're gonna make sure you're all prepped for everything that's going on with the Hoenn Tour because we have a lot of things going on. We need to make sure we have all our ball count up. We need to make sure we have our bag expanded. We need to make sure we have all of the Pokemon ready to go so that we can take full maximization out on this Hoenn Tour in Pokemon Go because these events are amazing, but they do go by pretty fast, even if you are playing for 2 days and you're playing for both weekends. Trust me, by the end of it, you're probably gonna be like, man, I wish I would have done a little bit more. So we're gonna make sure that you are all prepped for that today. So for the in-person, it's on Saturday, February 18th and 19th, and that's gonna be in Sunset Park in Las Vegas, which is officially sold out. And if you are doing it the next weekend, it will be the exact 1 week after. So that is going to be on the 25th and 26th globally. So we're gonna go over a little bit of information here. So if you do want to skip over, please check the timestamps below because we have to pick between Ruby and Sapphire, as we have talked about in a different video. If you want to see the full details of that, please check that out up here, but you have to decide which one you're going to be going after. The Ruby will be for the Groudon and the Sapphire will be for the Kyogre in their primal forms, so that's going to be what you're basically rooting for, like if you're completing the research tasks. And here's one thing that I did talk about in another video. Let's say that Ruby wins for the Primal Surges because we will have the Surges, meaning every hour we're going to be able to compete, and then whoever's team does get the most, that will be the coinciding spawns and Primal Surges coming out. So you'll have more of that Pokemon. So let's say that Groudon wins 1 and 2. I would say for the third one, if you are a Groudon participant, you probably back off and let the Kyogre win for the third and the fourth, and then go back to going hard on the fifth and the sixth, and so forth, so that we can make sure that we have an even amount and it's not dominant if one has been chosen more heavily than others. And the trainers in Vegas will be able to complete Primal Surge field research quests, which will leave you to Primal, Groudon, and Kyogre encounters, which is very exciting. And there's going to be shining surprises, meaning trainers with tickets at Las Vegas will have increased shining chances when encountering Pokemon discovered in the Hoenn region, which is also very exciting. I cannot wait to see how many shinies I get on this. And if you guys do want to see me play last year, which was going to be actually the Kanto Tour in Mexico, check the video up here if you want to kind of have a little bit of insight as to what this event might hold. And then for people going to the Hoenn Tour, you will have the first opportunity to be able to get shiny Kecleon in Pokemon Go. So not only is Kecleon brand new into the game, the shiny is going to be out there. And for everybody that is not there, don't worry because you will have additional opportunities coming after in the global weekend after that. There is going to be a coded quest throughout the park. It's going to be H+O. Do you guys know what that code is? Let me know in the comments. And then there's going to be legendary photo opportunities. So as of right now, this graphic does depict that for everybody that can do photo bombs, you will be able to get Latios and Latias as the photo bomb opportunity, which is very exciting because that could mean, unless they limit it, that you can get these Pokemon at all different levels and IVs, which is exciting if you ever desire to use one of these Pokemon in Great League or things like that with a different spread of IVs than you would typically get. There's also going to be snapshots that are going to go on that will help you get encounters with Mudkip, Trico, as well as Torchic. Hopefully everybody bought tickets because if you did before February 10th, you will have the ability to get research that's going to help you prep for the tour. And what that seems to me is going to be additional items and such, which is going to be very helpful because this event will be definitely taxing on your items. And these storage items are going to be increased as well. 6,250 for the Pokemon, and the items are going up to 5,250. Not too much there. Not really sure why they're actually really announcing that one, but just to make note, that is what's happening. And for everybody there, here are going to be the bonuses. Increased chance of shiny Pokemon. 6 special trades per day, which is very exciting for me as a content creator, so I can do some lucky trades, which I am working on a pretty cool video for you guys. I know you're going to be excited about it. You will be able to get half Stardust cost for trades when inside of the park, half incubator distance for hatching eggs. You will be able to get 9 daily free raid passes that are going to come sequentially, which is very cool. You will have increased rocket balloons coming in. Incense, excluding daily incense, will last for a grand total of 90 minutes. Incense will be attracting costume Pokemon from the incense a little bit more frequently, as well as unknowns, which is exciting. And then finally, we're going to have increased chance of obtaining Spooky Scramble and Energy Field Research tasks, which I'm excited to see what those do entail. And then we obviously have the Raid Lover. That's going to be an add-on to give you additional raid passes and extra XP, which is going to be 18 free raid passes. bonuses. You will also be able to get 6 base candy additional. You're going to get 3 additional XL candy, an additional 5,000 XP per raid, which is very beneficial. But I like the Egg Hatch add-on because not only will you change your 1/2 incubator distance to 1/4 incubator distance, you will also be able to get 3 times Hatch XP, 3 times Hatch Candy, and 3 times Hatch Stardust, and increased drops of 10-kilometer eggs. And you're like, why do 10-kilometer eggs matter that much? Well, we're gonna check that out in a minute. But you can add an additional day, which is already sold out. But if you did, you will be able to get a go for a spin research twice, once per day. However, I am gonna note that whichever Ruby or Sapphire you pick, it will maintain for the exact same of both days. And for everybody out there that does do this, you will be able to only get 1 Uneasy Alliance and 1 Wish Granted, which is gonna be where you do get the shiny Jirachi. Okay, so we have already talked about the spawns, but I'm just gonna go over them real quick with you guys. The Blistering Sands is gonna have Torchic, Poochyena, Lotad, Nincada, Makuhita, Nosepass, Aron, Numel, Cacnea, brand new shiny there, Baltoy, and Bagon. The Bagon is gonna be one of my favorite spawns in here, and one of the Pokemon that is gonna come in tip number 1, because I'm gonna talk about the Mega Pokemon that I do recommend that you guys have as Mega level 3 here. So we do have the Bagon, and then the Torchic is also a very desirable Pokemon for me because of its Mega Boost. Obviously, we also have the brand new Cacnea, which I'm gonna be spending some time in here to at least get that shiny. And in the Eerie Mists, we have Ralts, Surskit, Wishmer, Meditite, Spoink, Zangoose, Seviper, Chimecho, Absol, Snorunt, Lovedisk, and Beldum. This one is very good because we have Ralts in here that has Mega Gallade and Gardevoir, which is very effective. Not only that, we have Chimecho, which is a Stardust boosted Pokemon, so if we do have windy weather, this habitat is going to be fantastic for that boost. Not only that, we do have Seviper as well as Zangoose, which are regional Pokemon, so if you do need either of those shinies, this would be a great habitat to be able to hang out in. But not only that, we do have the Absol, which does have a Mega, but my favorite thing is going to be the Beldum, because Beldum goes into Mega Metagross, and it is going to be an absolute boss Pokemon, so definitely one that you do want to have enough XL Candy of. So before we go on here, I just want to make mention here, you guys are going to have to go through here, you're going to have to start making a list. Which shinies do I want? Which are the shinies that I'm hunting for? Because you can just hide in that habitat for as long as you want, but if you do stay in it for the entire day, you're not going to get any of the other spawns, so you're going to have to pick and choose. And additionally, look at the XL Candy of some of these Pokemon that I am highlighting, including the Bagon, the Torchic, the Trico, the Mudkip, the Beldum. All of those are very meta-relevant Pokemon, so you want to have enough XL Candy of those. For Bagon and Beldum, I am looking at least 1,000 XL Candy, because you're going to want potentially a regular one, a shadow one to be able to max out, and then a shiny one to be able to max out as well for a grand total of 3. In the Verdant Earth habitat, we have Trico, Zigzagoon, Wurmple, Seedot, Shroomish, new Pokemon there, and Stardust Booth, Slackoth, Skitty, Mawile, shiny, rare Pokemon, usually in eggs or raids, Electrike, Roselia, Gulpin, and Swablu. So from a meta-relevant standpoint here, we do have the Trico that goes into Mega Sceptile, but beyond that, nothing too crazy. However, the Swablu is great for the XL Candy, not really so much as a meta-relevant Pokemon for meta attackers, but it is a great GBL Pokemon, and it does have a very, very useful Mega because of its Fairy and combination with Dragon. That is going to help you boost there, and Mawile will have a future Mega, which is something to be notewhile of. And then finally, we have the Ancient Shores, which is going to be Mudkip, Tailo, Wingull, Carvanha, Barboach, Corphish, Lileep, Anorith, Phoebus, Spheal, and Clamperl. So here, I am looking at Mudkip, great meta attacker, Carvanha, which will have a future Mega, not going to be either the most effective Dark or Water type Pokemon, but it is worth to mention. And then finally, we are going to have the Spheal. Probably have more than enough XL Candy, but I'm just going to make mention because it's a very, very boss with Icicle Spear PvP Pokemon. So those are going to be the spawns, but now let's check out the eggs. The 2-kilometer eggs are going to have Pichu, Igglybuff, Trico, Torchic, Mudkip, Azurill, and Wynot. In the 5-kilometer eggs, we're looking at Surskit, Gulpin, and Cacnea. Probably will be more. In the 7-kilometer eggs, Trapinch, Phoebus, Bagon, and Beldum. Really like that egg pool right there. That's pretty solid. And then next, we're going to have the most effective and desirable ones. 10-kilometer eggs, Torkoal, Tropius, Relicanth, all have shinies. So I am going to assume that these 10-kilometer eggs are going to have more Pokemon in them. I sure hope that they keep it to a 3 pool. And if you do have, remember I talked about the egg hatching bonus, guys, you're going to get increased drops of 10-kilometer eggs, which will give you more chances of hatching these specific Pokemon. So I'm very excited about this. I can't wait to do this with you guys and see what it's going to be worth your while, because honestly, I just want those shinies. The Relicanth shiny, great. The Tropius, great. And the Torkoal, great as well. Maybe not the most profound different shinies, but I want them, so I'm going to be going after as many of those as possible. So that's why I want that egg bonus, especially with 1/4 egg hatch distance with super incubators. You're going to be churning through 10-kilometer eggs so fast. You may even consider, which we will talk about in a tip here in 1 second, using star pieces during this event. You're going to be teaming up with the Team Go Rocket, which is the first time we're ever going to do that. We're also going to have the Primal Surges, Surges, which will have specific Pokemon if you want to check them out up here, and that's going to be whoever wins in the Primal Surge opportunity will have their Pokemon take over for spawns. Volbeat and Illumise are going to be Pokemon that I would highly suggest you guys focus on there. And not only that, we're going to have specific field research that's going on that will help you get chances with Spinda Shiny, which is very exciting. And not only that, you're going to have the Wish Granted, which is going to give you an encounter with Shiny Jirachi, which is very exciting. And if you want to see all the brand new Pokemon with their Shiny debuts during this Hoenn Tour, you can check it out up here for a grand total of 11. My goodness gracious, that's a lot of information. But now let's start getting in my top tips, starting off with tip number 1. Tip number 1 is going to be all about which megas are we going to use during this event. So I am going to suggest a couple Pokemon here. Number 1, I really like the Steel type Pokemon in here, Beldum as well as Mawile. The only reason why I do like the Beldum is because of how powerful it is, so we're going to need a Steel type combination Pokemon, which will be a great pairing with Steelix. Unfortunately, ground types are not the most common here in this, but it is going to serve very well for the Groudon. So if you're very into getting Groudon XL candy and you really want to get that Beldum, having Mega Steelix as a Mega Level 3 is going to be a great opportunity for you. And if you guys don't have those Pokemon as Mega Level 3, starting now you will be pretty close if you have already chunking into, which you should have, some of those Pokemon. So Steelix is a great option there. Not only that, we can use the Mega Swampert. Reason being is you can get the Mudkip XL candy, you can get Kyogre XL candy, and you can get Phoebus, Spheal, and Carvanha. So that's going to be another Pokemon. You guys are going to have to go through and see which ones you like. For me personally, I am more into the XL candy coming from Kyogre because that's a very powerful Pokemon for me, and I have more Groudon XL candy than I do have for a Kyogre, and I want to max out to level 50 a shiny. And then finally, I'm going to recommend Mega Altaria. Mega Altaria, reason being, is because we have dragon Pokemon such as Bagon that are very important XL candy because of how powerful Mega Salamence is. Not only that, you can use the Fairy combination and hunt after Pokemon such as Mawile and such as Ralts, which is going to be very important there. So those Pokemon, very, very good. Some honorable mentions, what you could also use is Mega Charizard X if you're going after Torchic candy and you want to hit some of the other dragon type Pokemon such as the Bagon, so that would be very effective there as well. So as of right now, those are going to be the megas that I would recommend. Go through your XL candy, see which ones you do have good shadow Pokemon of, good potential IVs for shinies and regulars for the mega evolutions, and then go for it there, which then leads to tip number 2. Tip number 2 is going to be all about the items that we're going to need. So we're going to have to be very cautious of this event because you have Noibat Calm Day, which is going down on February 5th. And then 2 weeks afterwards, you're going to be in the Hoenn Tour. And usually on these 2-day weekends, guys, I can honestly catch 3,000 to 4,000 Pokemon. So I'm going to need an astronomically large amount of Pokeballs. And preferably they would be great and Ultra Balls. And then the weekend after, we're going to have to put some OT grind in to be able to get even more Pokeballs because we're going after the Global Tour. So wow, this is going to be such an exciting time. And I have a surprise for some people out there for video content purposes of where I will be for the Hoenn Global Tour because it's going to be really exciting. And I'm going to give you a hint, it's not going to be in the United States. So I can't wait to share some of that video footage with you guys. But guys, for the balls count, I would suggest that you get as absolute many Ultra Balls and Great Balls as possible. Even if you have to go in with 0 red balls and you're going in with all Greats and Ultra Balls, it's going to be the most important thing you have in this game. You can go in there with Pineapple Berries, but honestly for me, I'm not really that worried about it because I'm more concerned with the XL candy than I am with the regular candy. But if you don't have enough, I would say going in with about 500, 600 Pineapple Berries would be good. And if you are going to one of these events and you have a very low amount of Pokemon storage or item storage, I would suggest you guys start bumping it up and start going after that. So those are going to be it. Not only that, I want you going in with 50 to 100 golden raspberries because let's say you encounter a shiny, I would prefer that you just give it that golden raspberry, you catch that Pokemon, and then you move onwards because it's going to be very important to be moving as fast as possible, and that's one of the ways to do it. And silver pineapple berries would work great, as many as you can handle there. And finally, let's talk about the incenses. You need enough for the entire day. So for the entire day, you're going to need a little bit over 5 to be able to last because you have it for an hour and a half, which 3 hours is going to be 2, and it's going for a grand total of 8. So essentially you're going to be doing 9 hours worth. So you're going to be needing 6 of them. And not only that, you're going to need super incubators to be able to hatch these eggs fast if you're trying to go after those 10-kilometer eggs. And then finally, let's talk about those star pieces. If you're hatching a lot of 10-kilometer eggs, you're after it. You're getting the boost. You can run star pieces. I'm planning to run star pieces for the entire event duration because I really want to push my Stardust up. I did a great job at Go Fest to be able to push my Stardust to the absolute max. I think I got like 2 to 3 million Stardust in a couple days because I was just going after everything. I was incubating every single egg. I was putting star pieces on for the entire time, and hunting things such as Chimecho, especially in the windy weather, would be very beneficial for you guys. So look after that in Pokemon Go. So those are going to be all the items, which is then going to lead us into tip number 3. Tip number 3 is going to be all about a couple things that can be great add-ons for your event space. Number 1, external battery packs. Very important. Number 2, be able to download Campfire and get in communication with some of the people that you do play with. So if you are lucky friends with these people, start sending them a message and asking them if they're going to be at the event if you plan to go to Las Vegas. Because you can do, remember, up to 6 trades per day. That will give you a grand total of 12 trades over the weekend, which is very important, and half the Stardust. So if there are shinies out there that are very valuable to you that you do not have, I would suggest trying to get some of those during this time as opposed to waiting when it's double the Stardust. Not only that, I suggest that you guys do come in with some type of head protection because it can be hot in Vegas, but it can also be cold at the same time. So you're gonna have to plan out for the weather, potentially get that, and then maybe even have a poncho in your backpack to be able to go. But most importantly, the backpack is very important to be able to help you. And not only that, I suggest going in there with some type of snacks. I prefer to go in there with like a Go macro bar or some type of energy bar that will help sustain you throughout the day, as well as having a bladder in your backpack that will give you the water throughout the day, some type of Camelback, or in the future maybe there will be a design backpack specifically for these purposes. I don't know, hint hint. Which is then gonna lead us to tip number 4. Tip number 4 is going to be all about your Pokemon storage getting into this event. You want to start clearing this thing out. You want to start going after Pokemon that do not have any purpose in your bag. You want to go after things that you're holding on that are emotional. Maybe too many Calm Day shinies of a specific thing that is not super relevant. Maybe Chespin. Nobody's asking for those anymore. Trade them each and every day, but then once the day space comes, have a folder that you're going to be able to transfer all these extra Pokemon that you don't actually need, right? You want to get them all out. Start trading, do your 100 trades per day all the way until the event, and then do your special trade per day. Trade, swap shinies or whatever that is, and then get ready for the event space, because having the most amount of space in your bag as possible is going to be the most beneficial thing to help maximize out on this event. So you can save all these Pokemon, you can check them later, you don't have to keep going through every hour because you only have 100 to 200 spaces in Pokemon Go. If you want to see a full video to help you out transferring Pokemon, check it out up here. And that's going to do it for the prep tips for the Hoenn Tour. If you guys have any other prep tips, drop them in the comments below. I will read through and maybe pin a couple that I could have missed. Thank you guys for being here as always. To all my likers, comments, subscribers, Patreon members, everybody take their support, subscription, and participation to us. Let me see you guys out on the next video. Peace. I want to take this time to thank everybody who supports me in every facet. It means the world to me, and an extra special thank you to all my Patreons. I greatly appreciate the extra support to continue to allow me to pursue Pokemon Go full time, allowing me to create my daily video uploads in the most timely fashion for everyone's benefit. Plus, I get the amazing experience of sharing my creative processes behind the scenes and raiding all around the globe with select upper tiers. Thank you everybody for being a part of the Trainer Club. You all mean the absolute world to me, and I will see you guys out on the next video.